Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Stanton, your walking coach for Genev's Get Moving program. And I'm excited to bring you the first of a four-part series where I'll be speaking with Genev's health coaches who are going to bring you even more great tips to help you get the most out of your walking practice. Today, I'm here with Stacy Kasinchuk, a registered dietitian, exercise physiologist, and strength and conditioning coach. She's also the director of Genev's health coaches. Welcome, Stacy.
Hi, Michelle. It's great to be here and so excited to be a part of this program and looking forward to sharing with you and our viewers today 5 moves to start your day with.
I can't wait to try out those moves. But first, let's talk a little bit about the series. You and the other health coaches are going to be covering different topics, but they all relate to a concept of start your day with you. What's that all about?
Yes, so each of these strategies that each coach will provide over the course of the 4 weeks will all be prioritized on ways to start your day that's focusing on how to prioritize yourself. And so we'll be covering a variety of different topics, nutrition related, hydration related, and stretching, movement. So all sorts of things are going to be covered in these 4 weeks with a targeted challenge for each week that the coaches will share.
Great. And why is it important to start your day with yourself?
Great question. I'm so glad you asked. And this really comes from the work that our coaching team does with our clients. And we find that with working with women in midlife, they are more likely to put themselves aside for other people or to put tasks that don't have anything to do with their own well-being first. And in that process over time, it gets tiring for women. And what we have found is that when we can empower women to focus on themselves, and they are better able to show up in their day for those loved ones and friends and family that they care about, they can also show up better to tasks, whether it be work related, family related, or just things that they want to be able to do that and give them more fulfillment. And so this theme comes from what we've seen in the success of our clients of starting to take back that time of focusing on themselves. And what better time to do that than first thing in the morning?
Absolutely. I think that's so important to have that reminder. And, we do need to take care of ourselves. So I am sure everybody is eager to hear what the challenge is for this week. So please tell us.
Yes, so we're going to start this week off with some stretches, some dynamic stretches to start your day. So this ties into the walking program. This can help you to get more out of the walking program. And it's also a great way to just transition from when we're in bed, horizontal, less motion involved, and then to a more movement-filled day with these 5 simple stretches that I'll have you demonstrate and we can show for everyone that's viewing.
Great. When you're stretching in the morning, is there anything that you should do differently or keep in mind compared to, say, when you're stretching after a walk?
This is a great question to start with. So in the morning, remembering that our bodies are coming from that more still state of sleep, we want to be gentle to our joints, just gentle to our muscles, tendons, and ligaments, really listen to our body. And that goes anytime you're stretching. You want to be listening to the feedback your body's giving you. But know that your body might give you more feedback in the morning, or it might not quite have the same range of motion that you would have after a walk. So these stretches are specifically movement involved, as you'll see. So they're dynamic and they're meant to be done if you haven't done a sufficient warm-up. Stretches that are more static, so for example, sitting on the floor and reaching for your toes and holding that stretch for a period of time, that is going to be a static stretch. And so those types of stretches are better after a walk or after some form of exercises when those muscles and tendons and ligaments are warmed up.
Okay, good advice there. So let's get to these stretches. I'm going to demonstrate while you describe them.
Perfect. All right. So the first one, you're going to come onto your knees and hands. So in this tabletop position, and I refer to this stretch as a cat-cow stretch. Might have some different names, but that's the one that we're going to use for today. And so from this position, Michelle, you are going to arch up with your back. So you create a curvature in that upper spine. This is the cow position, or sorry, this is the cat position. So you think about a cat that's arching its back. And then then you're going to slowly come back to that starting position where you straighten out your back. It's more in that tabletop, and then lift your head and look up. And this is the cow position. As you're going through this motion, you want to be breathing. So you want to make sure you're not holding your breath and choosing a pattern of inhalation or exhalation. So Michelle, as you go into this cat stretch here, go ahead and take a deep inhale. And then as you go into the cow stretch, you're going to exhale. And as you're doing this, where are you noticing that you're feeling this stretch, Michelle?
Oh, this feels really good in my lower back.
Awesome. So you can see
my whole spine.
Yeah, and that's really the intention, to wake up that spine. That spine is so important to stability and support in our movement throughout the day. So it's a very gentle motion to be able to do that. And it does get into both upper body, so her upper back, and her lower, starting some of her lower body into her hips and lower spine.
Great, that feels wonderful.
Awesome. All right, so the next one, you're going to come back into that tabletop position. And from here, you're going to be going into a child's pose. So I'll have you spread your knees a little bit so they're a little bit wider than your hips. Bring those feet together. And then from there, you're going to sit back so that there you go, exactly like that. Your arms are extended out and you're sitting back towards your heels. Hold that here, and I would take an inhalation and an exhalation in this position. It's a nice way just to bring that calming breath into your body, and exhale can be a great way just to think about inhaling relaxation, exhaling any stress that you have to start your day. And then you're going to slowly come back up to that tabletop position. And then back down to that child's pose. Nice stretch there. You can see that she's really stretching from her fingertips all the way through back to her hips, and even into, with those knees a little bit wider, you're going to get more of a hip stretch, a hip opener there as well. And where are you feeling it, Michelle? Anywhere else that you notice?
It feels really nice up in the shoulders, the arms stretching in that upper back.
Excellent. Yeah, these can be our shoulders, especially if we're sitting at our desk throughout the day, may start coming up to our ears. This way, they really come back down to that neutral position, and you're able to stretch them in a manner that is more natural to that shoulder joint.
Oh, that felt so good.
All right, excellent. So the next one, you're going to stay in that tabletop position, and you're going to draw circles with your hip, starting in any direction of your choice. We'll get both sides. There you go. Excellent. So really big circles. This one that you're trying to get those hip joints nice and loose, and making sure that they have a lot of range of motion in them. Thinking of walking, our hip joints are really important to that extension of our legs, movement of our legs as we're walking any distance. So I would recommend going 5 to each side and then switching so you get both directions. How's that feeling?
Really good in the hips. I noticed, that's an area that gets tight from sitting so much.
Exactly. Another area that when we're in those static positions, those muscles, tendons, ligaments really start to get stuck in those positions. So helping them to find more fluidity is really beneficial.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Next one, you're going to come onto your back for bridge lifts. So lying flat on your back, heel or feet flat on the floor. You're going to push through your heels and lift your hips. And as you do that, you want to engage your core. And a good way to think about that is thinking about someone punching you right where Michelle indicated with her hands right there in the gut. And you want to brace for that. That's a way to engage all those core muscles. And so for this, you're going to lift up, hold, and then lower back down. And you can think about inhaling at the bottom, exhaling as you lift up, and then coming back down. Michelle's doing a great job of keeping a straight line when she lifts up from her knees to her hips to her shoulders. You want to be aware of that. It might be helpful to have a mirror or someone watching you at first. That could be a good way to make sure that you're maintaining that neutral spine position, even from this lying down position to start with.
For these moves, should people be doing them on their bed, or is it better to get down on the floor and do them?
Great question. So I would recommend doing them from the floor. It's a more stable surface, depending on your bed and the how soft it is or firm it is. It may not provide the same level of support and could create some instability. So if you're on a harder surface, a floor, even if it's carpet, you're going to have a little bit more stability and be able to execute these moves a little bit more safely.
Okay, good to know.
All right. So our final one here, I'm going to have Michelle do this from her knees, but you're more than welcome to do this standing if you're ready to stand in your progression in the morning. And with your arms out to your side, Michelle, I'm going to have you draw big circles with your hands backward to start. Let's go with 5 right there. So here's another one that really can help with shoulder mobility to make sure that we have the normal range of motion within our shoulders, really important joints for a lot of things that we do. If we think about carrying groceries, lifting things up, putting things away, shoulder joints are really important for that. So 5 in each direction. You can repeat a few times again, just to be able to really give those shoulder joints some love. This is an area where some women during midlife, they end up experiencing shoulder impingement or frozen shoulder due to the changes in hormones, specifically estrogen, and they end up with shoulder pain. And so really giving attention to your shoulders, helping to keep that range of motion alive can be helpful. And this is one move that can do that.
Oh, that feels so good. And I can see that would also be helpful getting those shoulders ready for the arm swing when you're going to be walking.
Absolutely. So this is a great, these exercises, and I'm talking 3 to 5 minutes of doing this. You can do that one time through, maybe you repeat it depending on how you're feeling. This can take you into your day, or it can take you right into your walk. So it can be something that you use to warm up and then shower and get off to work, or it could be something that is part of a warm up for the walking on the designated day with the walking program.
That's a great idea. So that felt so good. Once we start practicing this morning routine, what kind of other benefits might we get from it?
That's another great point to bring up. So I often see with my clients that when they can do something for themselves in the morning, and especially movement related, they tend to have more energy. They feel more grounded. It's almost like you've already started your day with a win. You've given yourself or your body some attention, and you can bring that into the next things that you do. Specifically with something like a mobility or stretching program that we demonstrated here today, can also help to alleviate some joint pain. Again, joint pain is more common for women in midlife with changes in hormones due to the changes in estrogen. We can sometimes experience more inflammation. So if you can prepare your joints for the movement that's coming for your day, sometimes that pain that you get in the joints is less, and that obviously is going to make a lot of people feel better.
Oh, sounds good. Now, if any of you have any questions about stretching, please put them in the comment section and we will get you some answers as quickly as we can. Thank you, Stacy, so much. It's been great having you here. Before we move on, can you let us know how women can connect with a health coach in case they would like some more support with their walking program or with any other lifestyle changes that they might be making?
Absolutely. So go to our website, gennev.com. So that's GENNEV.com. And on our services page, you will see all the options you have available to work with any of our health coaches on lifestyle habits to support you in feeling your best during this time. And you'll also see options to work with our telemedicine OBGYNs who also specialize in menopause. We all have training in midlife and menopause to really support you during this time of your life. So we hope to be able to have the opportunity to work with you soon.
Oh, that sounds great. Now, everyone else, remember to set your alarm a few minutes early so you can get up and start your day with these feel-good stretches. And I will see you next time for more wisdom and wellness from our Gennev health coaches. Until then, happy walking.